Haha. Good morning, people. How are you? It's a pleasure to get this final live chat of 2019 into the books, and I'm really happy that you're able to join me. So, there's a few things that I want to talk about related to the whole holiday season, but before that, I want to get through some housekeeping that we need to kind of discuss first, and that's some things focused in on 2020. Oh man, that's so good. Over the past 2 months, I've attended a few different functions and presentations, and had a chance to sit down and chat with individuals that are really kind of wrapped up in the mental health awareness that is required within our society. And because of that, and from the conversations that I've had from them and hearing some of the stories that are coming out, I've made a decision that with this particular group starting in 2020, what I'm going to do is still going to be focused around parent support or just support for anybody who works with children, but we're really going to put a focus in on also branching out to mental health and mental health awareness, because I really feel that there is not enough discussion going on about that, and especially out where we live here in the Okanagan, it's very clear that we do not have all the resources that are required to properly identify and actually, create some positive support structures within the area for clients that would actually need it. So I'm going to start doing that, which means that I'm also going to reach out and see if I can snag a few interviews here and there with people that are entrenched in mental health awareness within the Okanagan area. But of course, that discussion goes beyond just BC. This is across the country that we need to be talking about this. This needs to be a discussion that's out in the open and free for anybody to kind of talk about without feeling like there's any kind of stigma attached to it. So that's going to be a big focus that I'm going to bring into 2020. Of course, we'll still do like live chats, and we'll still be talking about like parent supports and just children's supports and of that nature. It will always be a group where if you need to toss an idea out there and you're looking for some feedback, of course you can do that within the group. But just wanted to make sure that folks are aware that 2020 I will be adding on that one little aspect to what Coffee Talk with Nate will be all about. Some holiday shameless self-promotion. I know I posted it in the group at the beginning of December, and I'll post it up again just because the response has always been pretty good. A couple years back, I did a holiday episode related to a YouTube series that I was running, and everybody that's seen it seems to really enjoy it. And if they didn't enjoy it, then they certainly kept that comment to themselves. So I'll put it up on the group again. I'll continue to share it, and I'm also going to share a link to the only Christmas holiday song cover that I've ever done in my entire life, and that's I did it I think 5 years ago, maybe even 6 now, and it's a cover of Little Drummer Boy, and as old as it is, it's still one of my favorite Christmas carols or Christmas songs. So I just enjoy sharing it, and it's always free as a download, especially through the month of December. So I'll post that link again to the group. So if anybody's interested, if you're looking for something to toss into your holiday mix, there's always that one that you can play for your ear holes. But beyond all of that, let's really kind of dig deep into what today's live chat was going to be about. And that's, I titled it, it's beginning to look a lot like Screw This, for a reason. And that's because December tends to be this mixed bag of emotions when it comes to everybody that's rushing around. The big thing is people trying to get ready for Christmas, or there's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, there's Yule, there's any number of different holidays that are out there that are being observed during this time. but people are just like, we're running around like maniacs. I'd say that Christmas is probably still the big one, and there's the holiday shopping. There's pushing through the malls. There's trying to find parking. There's, oh my goodness, there's trying to get to a family function, or in some cases 3 or 4 family functions over the course of like 48 hours. Like, it's insane. So people get stressed out, and people get angry, and people just start losing their tempers, and present company included, because like I've had my moments where I got to keep myself in check for sure, because it's nuts. So I want to really talk about that, and I want to talk about some of the things that might be setting us off, the triggers that might kind of push us over the edge. And once you know what your triggers are, or once you know what's kind of irking you a little bit, then you can take a step back and just first and foremost remember that it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be nuts. It doesn't have to be this insane family circus that takes place every year. In fact, it could be something that's really comfortable. It could be something that's really calm and relaxing, and just gives you that chance to take a deep breath and just enjoy the blessings that are in your life. So first thing I want to talk about is the things that would actually stress us, and I mentioned a few of them. Christmas shopping. I know in November I talked about some ways to kind of lessen the stress around all of that, because I mean, everybody jokes about the last minute shopping, but I mean, last minute shoppers, that's what drives me nuts. So I learned a long time ago that you don't do the last minute shopping. If you're in a household that observes letters to Santa, then of course you're gonna have to hold off sometimes, waiting to find out what is being asked of Santa. And because I mean, I talk to Santa, I sit down and I have coffee with him, and if there's anything that was missed in the letter, or just to check up and be like, hey, so Michael asked for this, or Cash was asking for this, dude, where are we at? Because I'm getting bugged at home. Then I'll have to I can sit down with the big man and figure it out. But other than the Santa effect, all that other shopping, you could probably get most of that done either November, or if you didn't, if you're a firm believer and it all happens in December, space it out. Because a little bit here and there is fine. And I mean, the beginning of the month is like, even right now, like the first week of December, I've been to the malls, and it's kind of a dead zone, like during the day or even on the weekends. Like, it does pick up on Saturday and Sunday, but even then, like there are times you don't need to go, when everybody else is there. Never. Because when you're trying to do the shopping, it's not just getting what you're looking for. It's trying to find parking. It's trying to deal with all the other drivers that are probably lacking sleep and patience, and they're on their last emotional thread, just like you could be, and you're all trying to navigate around each other. It could be a mess, a powder keg, in the sense of just like bubbling frustrations. So like, take a step back, plan it out if you can, plan it out, and then that way you're not rushing around. You're not putting that kind of pressure on yourself. And just an idea, the holidays don't have to be about presents. The holidays don't have to be about gift giving. The holidays don't have to be about blowing huge wads of money on family or friends or your kids or your loved ones, spouses, partners, partners in crime, whatever. Like, it's, to me, it's just that option, that moment to sit back and have fellowship with the ones that you love. And I know that sounds cliche, but honestly, like, my son asked me this week, Daddy, what do you really want for Christmas? And I looked at him, and I was being quite honest. All I want is just sit back and enjoy more time with you guys. Have dinner, watch some Christmas movies, whatever. That's all I want. that's at the end of the day, that's really all that any of us need. You don't need to break the bank, because the financial aspect is another big stressor that comes along with this season. And I've spoken to a few parents over the years, and the thing that I keep hearing is this underlying tone of, well, we did this last year, so now we got to do a little better this year, and then of course that next year comes along, so now we got to do something even better. That's not the case. It doesn't have to be like that. Just leave it be. Just have that. If you need to, have that conversation as a family and be like, let's keep it small. Let's keep it calm. Let's keep it cozy. And we don't need to get crazy with the presents or anything like that. Another thing that's this is a personal pet peeve of mine, but I need to talk about this. There is, and there never was, a war on Christmas. So I'm getting really tired of seeing people that post online and social media, or even talking about it just like in conversation, talking about, the threat of losing Christ in Christmas. And I'm going to come out and I'm going to say this. Although I no longer follow the Christian faith, I still have a huge amount of respect for it, to a point. And my breaking point is when people start complaining about how there's a threat against their religious beliefs because people are observing other religious beliefs instead of their own religious beliefs that they're comfortable with. And that has always bothered me. But as a person and in a household where we observe Yule and get just as excited about it as we do Christmas morning, it's really kind of problematic when people are wasting all this time and energy to still promote what is, in North America at least, like the largest religion and faith there is. Like, Christianity is still at the top of the religious food chain. There is no war on Christmas. There isn't some secret society trying to, take apart your religious beliefs. Nothing like that. It's just, we live in a society now where everyone, and I mean everyone, needs to be able to recognize and respect that maybe there's more than just one religious faith that's being celebrated, and there's more than just one occasion that's being celebrated, especially during these holidays. I mean, I mentioned Yule. We celebrate Yule, but there are families that celebrate, Hanukkah. There's Kwanzaa. I'd say Christmas and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah. Like those would be like the big three. There are a plethora of other religious celebrations that take place from like November straight through to about the middle of January. And that's another reason why people need to stop being offended at the idea that somebody says happy holidays. I say happy holidays. I say happy holidays because of just that very reason. There are so many people that are celebrating and observing so many different celebrations this time of year that I feel it would be just really rude to just expect them to, follow and observe Christmas. And the thing is, Christmas, yes, there's we're talking about the story of Christ's birth and the manger and all of that. There's that is celebrated and observed. There's another aspect of like, Santa and the elves and, Jack Frost and Frosty the Snowman and all that, which people kind of throw commercialism at, but it's just be respectful. I guess what I'm trying to say is just be respectful, because there's no war on Christmas, never was, and just don't fall into that ridiculous notion that because somebody's celebrating something different than you, that it's a threat against your own religious beliefs, because it's not. And when you can get past that, you can take a deep breath and begin to enjoy the holidays. Celebrate with your brethren. Celebrate with your brothers and sisters. Celebrate with your neighbors and your friends and your family and, you know, your coworkers. And if you don't know anything about what they're celebrating, take some time to just ask a genuine question about, like, and be interested in, and you can learn some amazing things about the people that you have in your lives, and the ways that they celebrate during the holidays. So, like, just keep that in mind. If you can, and there isn't pressure, because I mean, people are kind of financially, we're all over the place. And that's here in Canada, that's in North America. I mean, just globally, there are plenty of families that just struggle financially. So, keeping that in mind, if you can donate to a food bank, awesome. If you can take part in a neighborhood angel tree, awesome. If you're not financially able to take part to donate to either one of those causes, don't worry about it. But if you're in a position, I firmly believe that if you're in a position where you can afford to help out someone else who is in need, then you need to step up. And that means going to your local food bank and finding out what they need, because they might need food, they might need warm clothes, they might need blankets. Angel trees are set up. You can always do a community search and see if there's one set up in your area. But angel trees are generally set up in like a community center with the names of individuals that these are families that are in need, that are going out on a limb to say, we need assistance. And you can take their name and you can find out what they need, and then you add them to your holiday list to make sure that they're getting food, clothing, if there's kids, maybe some toys or games or something. We have families, we have individuals, we have people that struggle year round. But I mean, as the weather gets colder, the struggle can become harder. And then families, in some cases, have to decide whether they heat their house or they feed their kids. You know, can they afford to get presents, or, you know, do they pay that electrical bill? You know, like that's the situation for more and more families, and we need to recognize that, and we need to step up and do our part to join in. And I'm not going to promote any singular organization, because there are so many that are out there that are doing their part to help. So take a look. Community sites, usually a town or a city website will have information around food banks and donations, or again, like what angel trees might be set up, because these are aspects that we can all take part in, and to do our part to help out those that are in need. And again, I feel that it should be a year-round thing, but that's just me. and if you're able to give, then give. If you can't, that's understandable. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself, though, okay? Talking about stressors, talking about the ups and downs of the holiday season, I want to talk about a resource that's available to anybody. Pardon me. Coffee helps everything. This could be a time of year where depression can be on the rise, and you can see some individuals, there could be a spike in suicidal ideations, and that's because people are feeling isolated, people are feeling lonely, people are feeling that they, you know, have no reason to exist. And if you are at any moment feeling like that, feel free to contact me. But more importantly, there's a number that I want to pass on. It was passed on to me, and I think it was a genius idea. So I want to pass it on to everyone who would be watching. If you ever need to, text the number 686868, and that should take you to the text message will go through, and on the other end will be a person able to respond with counseling experience, crisis support experience, and they're waiting to help you and talk you through whatever you may be feeling, whatever you may be dealing with. It is a number that's associated with the Kids Help Phone, but like I said, it isn't just for kids or teens to use. That number is available for anyone. You could be 15 or you could be 50. You know, if you need to, then use that number. And again, that's 686868. And you just text that from your phone, and there will be someone, I promise you, that would be able to respond and then guide you through and help you out with whatever emotions you may be dealing with, because it can be a very lonely time. I worked frontline in a shelter, and I worked Christmas morning, and that shift really threw me for a loop. It's usually, Christmas Day is always seen as like this super happy moment, and this, this great opportunity for thinking of your blessings and thinking about like all the great things that you have going on in your life. But when you're living in a shelter, your list of things to be happy about might be a lot smaller than someone who's living comfortably on their own. And it really kind of broke my heart to spend that day and having some of the conversations with some of the clients there. And I mean, the shelter does everything it can to make the day as wonderful and amazing as possible. And I have so much respect for all the shelters that are doing that. But it's still, it's a heartbreaker. And I know that there were individuals that were there that this was definitely not their happiest day to be alive and to be where they were. So if you're an individual and you need somebody to talk to, like I said, you can always message me. But if you want a sense of anonymity, then text that number. And like I said, someone with proper training, not that I don't have proper training, but someone who is fully capable of handling like crisis support and counseling, they're there for you. Which takes me on to my next thing. If anybody's watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, there's a scene where Clark Griswold has completely lost his mind, and he's having a conversation with his dad, trying to figure out how his dad made it through the holiday season as calm and as collected and as happy as he did. And his father's response is, well, I had a little bit of help from Jack Daniels. And as funny as that joke may be, it does bring to light that there is a certain drinking culture that comes with the holidays, and I really want to talk about that, because speaking as somebody who has used sorry, I just gotta, okay, it's all good. Speaking as somebody who's actually, used drinking as a coping mechanism, I can tell you that it's not actually helpful in any way, shape, or form. If you're striving to be sober, then all the power to you. If that's not your gig and you're just looking to, drink responsibly, then again, I respect that. I sit back and I'll have a beer or a glass of wine or something, but this is a time of year where I know a number of individuals, they will take to the bottle to try and handle the stresses that come with the family gatherings, that come with the bigger parties, that come with those social aspects that may create anxiety. And I get it, I totally get it, but we need to be aware that there isn't any moment in your life where alcohol is actually the answer. So just be very mindful of that. And at the same time, keep in mind that if you're drinking to keep yourself calm, you do build a tolerance. And the last thing that I would ever want to hear about is somebody from this group that, had too much and got involved in an accident. Drinking and driving, I have major issues with that. Major issues with that. So, please be mindful. If your go-to stress relief response is substance use of any kind, there's a bigger conversation that needs to take place then, that goes beyond just the holiday season. And I don't have enough time to really kind of dig into that, but I just want to put it out there and get the conversation started that, there are ways that you can keep yourself calm. There are ways that you can, not have to spike your coffee or, have that third or fourth glass of scotch or wine or whatever to make it through family dinner. Like keep it in check. Please keep it in check. Shopping. If you've ever worked in retail, you know that on a regular day, your shift can completely suck because customers can be complete and utter a-holes. During the holiday season, it can especially suck because some people believe that they have the God-given right to be extra large a-holes. If you're out holiday shopping for food, for gifts, for whatever, be pleasant, be polite, and be considerate to the people that are working the till, to the people that are stocking the shelves, to the people that are getting up early to open up that store so that you can go in and spend your money. And just because you're spending money does not mean that you are granted this higher privilege to act like a jerk. Everybody needs to take a step back. Retail especially, I would say that retail and food industry, those are two careers that deal with the highest amount of just human garbage. And they don't need to. There's no reason to walk into any store and act like a total jackass. Like, just don't. They're working and this is their job. And, if they can't find what you're looking for right away, be patient. Again, be considerate. Who knows? Maybe what you're looking for might be sold out. Maybe you're going to have to come back. Maybe you're going to have to put it on special order. I don't know. But that doesn't mean that you have to take it out on the person that's in front of you. We shouldn't be doing that anytime, but especially during the season, like it blows my mind when I'm grocery shopping and I'm seeing somebody who's like trying to tear into, a store associate, and I'm like, do you know them personally? Like come on, grow up. They're trying to make a living, and you coming in and acting all entitled does not help that. So please, for the love of the gods, be considerate, be polite, and be understanding that, everybody who's working on the other side of that cash register or working that aisle is doing the very best that they can. They're trying really hard. That's all I got to say about that one. Takes me back to wanting to talk about why we need to remember what this whole holiday break is all about. Because, school will be ending soon enough. Kids will be running around. They'll be having fun. If you've got lots of snow, then that's a perfect opportunity for like snowball forts and like sledding and building snow families and making angels or devils, whatever you want to do in the snow. It's it could be a really fun time. And that also means that just like during the summer break, that there's going to be a lot of kids running around very, very soon. And if you are a commuter, or if you're someone who just spends a lot of time behind the wheel, please be aware that, of course, the days are getting darker, but that doesn't mean that the streets are then bare. There could be kids still running around playing, having fun. So just be mindful of your surroundings, which also takes me back to don't drink and drive. And the biggest thing is just remember that this holiday season, however you celebrate, whatever you celebrate, just keep in mind that it needs to be the focus should be on the blessings that you have in your life, the good things that you have going for you. The opportunity for fellowship, the opportunity to see your family that you don't always get to see. And maybe some of them do annoy you every now and then, but whatever, like they're deep down, I would like to think that they all have a really solid heart of gold. So, again, be patient with them and just enjoy the fact that you do have these people in your life. We may not always see eye to eye with family and friends, but we're still very lucky to have them in our lives. So just remember that this season, the holiday time, it's not about presents. It's not about breaking the bank. It's not about, going crazy with the biggest, craziest, light show that you can decorate your house with. It's about just enjoying the time that we have together. And again, however you observe the holidays, whatever you celebrate, I hope you have a very blessed holiday break. And I just want to take a moment to just say, have a wonderful, happy holidays and an incredible new year. And I wish the very best to each and every one of you. So I hope that we can all come together and, be safe and be smart during the holiday season, so that we can all just come back together as a group in the new year and continue to enjoy each other's time and fellowship and opinions and goals and to celebrate all of our accomplishments, big or small. Folks, that's all I have left to say. So without any further ado, I'm going to sign off, and I will see you in January for the first live chat of 2020. So I got some ideas about what I'm going to talk about, and again, I'm always open to ideas. If people want to talk about something specifically, email me, message me through Facebook, message me through Coffee Time with Nate, whatever. You can reach out to me. I'm always open to hear ideas. I'm always open to taking into account what people want to talk about, what they want to discuss. And if there's ever something that, like, you have this burning question, but you're afraid to bring it to the group, you could bring it to me, and then I can present it to the group on your behalf. Or anonymously, I can't talk this morning. Treat it as an anonymous question. And then we can all work together to come up with some sort of solution. So with that said, again, happy holidays. My ugly sweater shrunk, so it doesn't fit me anymore because it shrunk. I didn't get bigger. I want to say that right now. And yeah, just happy holidays, folks, and much love to each and every one of you, and many blessings. Blessed be, and I will see you in the new year.